Hi, ladies. Hi, ladies. I'm doing a Facebook Live. Man, I haven't done a class in a long time. Hi, Elena. I have not done a class in a long time. I took some time off, but we're going to do a Facebook Live tonight because I figured there's some new people that have joined us, and this can be their free class because I promise everybody a free class. And hey, Pat. Hello, my friend. I got 2 of you on here so far. I haven't put my pipe cleaners on yet because we're going to be doing them a little bit differently for this wreath. Hey, Debbie, because we only need 12. Look at my hair. We only need 12 for this wreath because it's a pancake wreath. Hi, Cheryl. I'm not going to be able to hear you guys talk tonight because I'm doing a Facebook Live, and as you know, you have to type your questions in. But I figured it would be just a nice little way to break the break that I've had from classes to just jump on and do a Facebook Live. So I'm going to wait a little bit longer for some more people to jump on. I've got my AC blowing in here because it was pretty warm out today, so it's not as loud as my last AC that I had in my craft room. I couldn't even have that one running because it's just so loud. I couldn't hear any. I just couldn't even. I was going to say I couldn't hear anybody. Well, when I have the Zoom meeting, I couldn't hear anybody. You know what, I'm going to, hey, Cheryl, I'm going to look at your comments on my phone because for some reason when I'm on my laptop, they don't scroll. I don't know why that is. So let me pull this up on my phone, too. I got to turn my volume down now here. And then I can see your comments scrolling. Hi, Debbie. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me while I took another little break. I know, man, this is going to be July 30th is going to be the 2-year anniversary of the group. Hi, Karen. And I have to go back and count. I think it's almost 150 classes I've done since then. And every once in a while, you know, I have some issues and I got to take a little break. And that's kind of what happened. I started a job, you know the whole story, and it was kind of challenging for me to do classes at night, you know, after working all day, but I'm getting in the groove. I'm getting there, and I miss you guys. I miss getting on here and creating stuff with you. So we're going to be getting back on track. Hi, Robin. So this video will be saved. All the Facebook Live videos that I do, and I don't do them very often, they are automatically saved in the video section of the group. I wish you guys could see me. Hi, guys. I don't have any makeup on. I'm going to be getting a Mevo pretty soon, and then I'm going to be able to, I'll get like a camera stand, and I'll set it up so you can see me and watch me create at the same time. So I totally forgot what I was going to say. So I'm giving everybody a free month to make up for the time I took off in June. I had some challenges, but things are getting back on track, luckily. Yes, Karen. Actually, Karen, the video will be saved in the video section, but I will be uploading it to YouTube as well and emailing it to everybody like I normally do with the supply list. Oh, you're at Summerfest, Robin. That's great. Lionel Richie, I love him. I love him on American Idol. He's so awesome. I don't know if you guys watch American Idol, but he's so awesome. So I didn't put the pipe cleaners on yet because we're going to do them a little bit differently than we normally do. Normally, for regular mesh wreath, I do 18 pipe cleaners. 10 on the outside and 8 on the inside. And the only reason I have my mat here is because this table is like really loud. It's just really loud when I make my wreath, so I have my mat here. This is a pancake style wreath, and if you haven't seen them before, these are specifically designed to fit in between 2 doors. They're very thin. So you don't, you know, normally, you know, you see really fluffy mesh wreaths. I like my mesh wreaths kind of fluffy too. But this is specifically designed to go in between 2 doors. So you're not going to really overload it with a lot of mesh and ribbon. Hi, Peggy. So you're only going to need 12 pipe cleaners, and this is the way you're going to put them on. This is a Dollar Tree frame, okay, 14¼ inches. You're just going to put, to start, 1 pipe cleaner on each of the crossbars on the inside, on the inner 2 bars. So we're going to have 6 on the inside, and I'm going to wrap them around, you can see that, the two inside wires. And we're going to start right at the crossbar. And I just like to pull mine really, really tight. I used to glue them, and it just made a really crazy mess. So I just pull them really tight. So again, 6 on the inside, 1 on each of the crossbars. Hi, Val. I'm going to do another Facebook Live on my business page too, because that really helped me get some members here. I think that's the key to growing the group, ladies, is I need to get myself out there a little bit more, like everybody else does. So we're going to do 6 on the inside and 6 on the outside, so 1 on each of the crossbars. You know, honestly, don't worry if your pipe cleaners are totally even on each side, because we're going to cut them off. I used to be really crazy and fanatical about my pipe cleaners being even on both sides, but since we're not going to be doing our little bow ties in the middle of our ribbon bundles like we normally do, we're just going to end up cutting the extra pipe cleaner off. So it's not, if it's not totally even, don't worry about it. This is a minimalist's wreath, I like to call it, because there's not a lot of stuff on it. You've got your mesh, 12 pieces of mesh, cut at 20 inches. You've got your sign. I'm only using 2 different kinds of ribbon. Usually I use 4. I love these colors. We're going to do 2 ties, or 2 ribbon pieces per tie. So we're going to need 12 of each. And then this is my sign. I don't have the exact same sign that was in the wreath. I had this one, and I thought it was really pretty, and it kind of matches. It's got the green in it. It doesn't have any yellow, but that's okay. I just love this daisy ribbon. So again, we're just doing 1 on each crossbar here, around the 2 inner rings. Pull it as tight as you can, and it should stay for you. That's why I like these fuzzy ones. If you go to the Dollar Tree and they have the tinsely ones, they don't stay very well. So you can see I have 6 on each, 1 on each crossbar. Very easy for your first 6. And then all we're going to do is go to the outer 2 rings now and do 1 in between, in the middle of each section. So 6 more. That's all you need. Like I said, just pull it as tight as you can. It shouldn't slide if you pull it really tight. Even if you end up bending the bars a little bit, which I do sometimes because I pull it so tight, that's fine. Nobody's going to see that the bars are bent. You're going to have your mesh covering. So, hey, Tarana. Hey, Cheryl. Everybody's jumping on tonight. I'm so excited. I like doing Facebook Lives once in a while. I miss hearing you guys talk, but everybody ready for the 4th of July? My brother's actually coming up with his wife from New York City, which is about 6 hours from me. We see him maybe twice a year or so. We're going to take a day trip somewhere. I think we might go up to Alexandria Bay or the Thousand Islands, or maybe even Lake Placid, if you guys are familiar with upstate New York at all. It's supposed to be really, really hot here, like in the 80s. So I need to be near water. This is probably going to be the easiest wreath you'll ever make. Now, again, if you're a fan of full wreaths, you're probably not going to like this one that much because it is designed to be flat. Oh, Val's working. Well, I'm glad you can watch for a little while, Val, but I'll definitely email you the video. Don't worry. And it'll also be saved in the group. But if you have a customer that specifically requests a wreath to fit in between 2 doors, this is what you can give them. Okay, that's all we have. 12 pipe cleaners. Just want to tighten a little bit. Don't be afraid to pull these because I think I got these from Hobby Lobby. You can get big packs of these pipe cleaners from Hobby Lobby for, sometimes they're half price. But if you pull them really tight, they won't slide. Like I said, I used to do glue, but it just made a mess. Okay, now, These are 20-inch pieces. You're not going to use the whole roll. I think I cut the whole roll anyway because I'll probably find another use for this mesh. I usually do. Okay. 20-inch piece of 10-inch mesh. Oh, that's great, Val. That's awesome. Move this over here a little bit. Now, typically what I like to do, this is jute mesh. And if you're not familiar with jute mesh, it's just regular mesh with burlap running through it. You cannot cut this with the wood burning tool. You have to either use a rotary cutter, or if you're crazy like me, you use scissors so you can get in between the lines and cut down on your frame. But somebody actually posted something really neat in one of the groups the other day. They got the fray check, if you've heard of that, for fabric. And after they cut their mesh, they just used a sponge, what am I looking for? Like a sponge brush. And they just lightly brushed the edge of the mesh, the cut edges, with the fray check. And I guess it dries really fast. Hi, Mary Alice. I don't normally do Facebook Lives. I usually do my classes in Zoom meeting. Mary Alice is new, but I decided to just do a Facebook Live tonight. I do that once in a while. So I guess the fray check really helped with the fraying. Now, particularly if, you know, the wood burning tool does help, but if you're using this type of mesh, fabric mesh, you cannot cut with the wood burning tool. And any type of mesh that has burlap running through it, you can't. So the fray check does help, or Mod Podge. You can brush the edges with Mod Podge, but it takes longer to dry. And then you see how your mesh rolls like this. If you brush it on and then want it to dry, you're going to have to literally place something on it to keep it flat while it dries. And that can be a little time consuming. But this is what I do also to help with fraying. Before I got a piece there. Where's my scissors? Before I ruffle it, I have a little trick that I do, and it helps. I got a piece coming off here. Hold on. I just flip it so it's face up and it's curling up, and I take the edge. You can see that, and I just fold it under just a tiny bit, like maybe an inch, and I hold it. And then I flip it over. See how it's folded on the edge? And then you can just start ruffling it. And it's nice, the lines help you sort of stay in the middle. This is 20-inch piece of mesh, and when you get to the edge here, you can kind of fold that under as well, and then you can pinch it. Now, make sure that you have even amounts on both sides before you place it in your frame. Now, the key is to pinch it really, really tight. Make sure your edges are curled under, okay? Pinch it really, really tight. I'm going to start on the outside. You want to lay it, I guess it doesn't really matter, but I'm just so used to laying it parallel to my Wreath form. Pull your pipe cleaner as tight as you can. Give it a couple of twists. Now, what you need to do with this piece of mesh, normally if you were making a regular ruffle wreath, I would ruffle it up so it sticks up. Okay, but we're not going to do that this time. What you're going to do, you need to curl your ends under. So make sure you can actually literally take your ends and curl them under like this. So it's, your mesh is actually going down. And then you have to kind of overlap your pieces. If you can see that, we're almost kind of making like a little flower in a way. You have to overlap your pieces that you cut ends. So instead of, well, pipe cleaner's in the way here, instead of ruffling the pieces up, you're going to kind of curl them under. So it's flat. So you see how I'm kind of overlapping these pieces here? So it's going to be, you can see that it's going to be kind of flat. See how flat that is? So instead of your regular ruffle wreath, where I fluff the ruffles up, you want this to be flat, and you can even press it down a little bit. Just like that. You have a couple pieces of this jute mesh, just pull it off. But you see how I'm kind of overlapping the pieces? Like that. That's how you want it to be. Did you put the ruffle in a bow maker and ribbon on that and do it in one step? No, Karen, I don't know. I don't think that would work, because I actually, honestly, I have not tried it. Oh, I just lost my feed here. Hold on a second. I've never tried it like that, but I don't think you're going to get the same result by doing it that way. You have to put the mesh on, and then you have to put your ribbon on. But you could definitely try it and let us know how it works. I know that you could do that with spiral wreaths. You can attach your ribbon right to your curls and put it all in one step. So again, just fold your mesh under on one end so you have it. You know, you don't even really have to do that, because we're going to be overlapping it anyway. So I'm not going to even bother folding it under on the one end. I'm just going to start. Just again, make sure that you have, and pull any extra pieces off. Make sure you have equal amounts on both sides. And pinch it as tight as you can. Jenny's here. Hi, Jenny. My buddy. Doing a Facebook Live, Jenny. I never do Facebook Lives. Pull it as tight as you can. And again, we're going to do the same thing. Kind of curl it under. Move this over. Curl it under and overlap your pieces. Or overlap your cut ends, I should say. Just kind of fold it so it's curled under and flat. You see that? You want to kind of make a circle out of it. See how flat that is? I never thought I'd be a fan of a flat mesh wreath, but it really does look cute when it's done. So you just make them like little circles. All right, 2 down, 10 to go. I'm not even going to bother folding it under, because I'm just going to have to pull it out anyway. If I was making a regular ruffle wreath, I would fold the ends under. But since I have to pull them out anyway to overlap them, it's not really going to matter. So lay it with the curl side down. Just follow your line up the middle. This is a 20-inch piece of mesh, 10 inch by 20 inches, 10 inches wide, 20 inches long. You're not going to use a full roll. Hi, my love. I'm so glad you're here. Again, fix it in your hand before you put it. You can't really see this table. I need to paint this table so it's darker. I should do that. I should just paint it. My friend made me this table, and I kind of wished he had made it a darker color. Pull it as tight as you can. Just do the same thing. You have to kind of spread it out. You're going to just overlap your ends. You can use any kind of mesh. I never really recommend getting the really thin, cheap stuff, though, because it just doesn't cover well. You know, if you're going to buy the, you know, I really don't like Michael's mesh. I'm sorry. It just, sprays, and I've had so many bad experiences with it. But if you do happen to have some that you want to get rid of and you want to use it, I would just simply, if it's very thin, I would just simply double up your pieces. So put 2. You see how the goal here is just to overlap the ends, so, and then curl them under so it's flat. That's it. Hi, Crystal. Crystal's been waiting, honey. I know you have. You've been waiting a long time for this. It's going to be saved in the video section here, but I'll also be emailing it to everybody. Don't worry. Like I normally do. I'll upload. I could still upload Facebook Lives to YouTube, just like my Zoom meetings. Just again, it's better that you play with it in your hand and make sure that you've got equal amounts of mesh on both sides before you put it in your wreath form. I really think I'm going to paint this table now that I think about it. I don't like this light color. It's hard to see. What color should I paint it? Blue? I like blue. Something dark. It needs to be dark. And we're just going to keep doing the same thing. When you are pulling it on the wreath to flatten it, just, now you can see it a little better. When you're pulling it, just try not to pull on the ends. So curl it under, spread it out. You can overlap your pieces. That's totally fine. That's what you want. You just kind of curl it under like that so it goes flat. Just like that. Very easy. You can see a little bit better if I move this. Only 12 pipe cleaners, Crystal. Just 12. You'll see it. It's actually in the supply list. You're going to put 1 pipe cleaner on each of the crossbars and the 2 middle bars, inside bars, and then 6 on the outside. So 6 on the inside and 6 on the outside. Just 12, and 12 pieces of mesh. So ideally, you could probably even get 2 of these wreaths out of 1 roll. If you're very careful with your cutting and you don't have a lot of waste, because these are 20-inch pieces. I don't know. I have to think about that. I can't do math very well in my head. So 12 pipe cleaners, 12 pieces of mesh. If you missed the beginning, Crystal, I'll email this to you, or then, like I said, you can watch the replay in the group anytime. So we're just spreading it out. Overlap your ends a little bit. Curling it under. Don't be afraid to press it down. You got 1 more to do on the outside. This is not going to take you long to do it all, honestly. This is a fast wreath. The only thing is with this jute mesh, it gets fibers everywhere. And it's got burlap in it. The supply list, it should be right in the events calendar under the class listing, but I'll email it to you with the video link too. It's just 12 pieces, 12 pieces of 10-inch mesh, cut it 20 inches, 12 pipe cleaners, 6 on the inside, 6 on the outside. You put the 6 on the inside around each crossbar, wrap it around the 2 bars on the inside, and then you put 6 on the outside 2 bars, wrapped around the 2 outside bars in the middle of each cross section. So it's coming out a little wonky on me here. Always one that's going to give you a hard time. That's all right. That's why, like I said, it's important to make sure that when you have it in your hand, before you place it, that it's even on both sides. I think this one might have been a little bit uneven, but it's all right. Squish it down. All right, I gotta do this one again. I'm just going to get another piece of mesh because that piece annoyed me totally. I'm not too OCD, ladies. I'm just going to do that one over again. Okay, Val, see you later. Don't work too hard. I know. Jenny, when I first made my very first wreath, back in my first mesh wreath was probably March of 2017. I've been making wreaths my whole life, but I just discovered mesh, you know, in 2017. And I